Hey guys, it's Daniel and welcome back to Digital Math Live. Today we're going to be going over an important strategy for solving equations, checking equations. In today's worksheet, we'll be substituting variables with the values given to us for the equations to see if they're a true solution. Checking equations can be particularly useful in a multiple choice test such as the SHSAT, where you're given possible answer choices. But what does it actually mean? What you do is take a possible value for a variable and substitute that value into the equation to see if it makes the equation true. If you plug in a value and find that you get an incorrect statement, you know that that value cannot be the answer. What is substitution? Substitution is when you put a term in place of an equivalent term. It's also referred to as plugging in. Let's say you tried to solve the equation 3x plus 4 equals 10 and got x equals 3. Of course, this is incorrect, but for the purpose of this example, let's ignore that for now. To check your equation, plug in your answer and see if it makes the equation true. In this case, we would plug in 3 for x, and we would get 3 times 3 plus 4 equals 6. We simplify the left side of the equation, and we get 9 plus 4 equals 6. Simplify it even further, and we have 13 equals 6. Obviously, this is a false statement, so we know that x does not equal 3, and we must have made a mistake when solving for x. Let's say you try again and get x equals 2 as an answer. If you plug that into the equation, we have 3 times 2 plus 4 equals 10, which can be simplified to 6 plus 4 equals 10. And finally, 10 equals 10. When we plugged in 2 for x, we got a true statement, so we know that x equals 2. So the first problem we're going to be going over is the first question on the worksheet. As always, a PDF of the sheet will be in the description below, and you can follow along with us as we do some examples of how to solve these equations. Afterwards, if you'd like to get some more practice, you can try these problems on your own, and we'll be posting an answer key to the worksheet in the description box as well. If you have any questions about this lesson or how to get the worksheet, feel free to email us at this account. Here's the problem. 4a minus 3 equals 7. Check a equals negative 1. The first thing we need to do in this equation is substitute the given value of negative 1 for a. So once we plug in that value, we get 4 times negative 1 minus 3. We follow the order of operations and multiply 4 and negative 1 together, and we get negative 4. Then all we have to do is subtract 3, and we get the equation negative 7 equals 7. We know that negative 7 and 7 cannot be equal to each other, and therefore, negative 1 is not a solution to the equation. Because negative 1 was not a correct answer, we need to solve the equation to find the value of a. First, add 3 to both sides to get 4a on its own. We are left with 4a equals 10. Next, divide both sides by 4, and we get the solution a is equal to 10 over 4, or 2 and 1/2. The next problem we're going to do is question number 4 from the worksheet. 2 open parentheses 14 minus n equals 10. Check n equals 9. When given a value, it is important to first substitute it into the equation and replace the variable, or in this case, n. Once we do this, we do 14 minus 9 in the parentheses, which equals 5. When checking equations, it is especially important to remember the order of operations. We subtract 9 from 14 first because it's within parentheses. Remember PEMDAS. Then multiply 2 into 5, which yields us 10 equals 10, meaning we found our solution to this equation. N equals 9, and we don't need to do any more work. Let's go to number 7 from the worksheet. 8 plus 5e equals 14 minus e. Check e equals 2. As we've done in the previous equation, first substitute the value given to us in order to solve the equation. We plug 2 into each e and are left with the equation 8 plus 5 times 2 equals 14 minus 2. The order of operations tells us to first multiply, so we multiply 2 by 5, which gives us 10. Add 8, and we have 18 on the left side of the equation. Then we can solve for the right side. Subtract 2 from 14, and we get 12, which does not equal 18. Meaning that e equals 2 is not a solution to this equation. And that's all for today. Please finish the rest of the problems in the worksheet. And of course, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out through this email. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Smash that like button if you did, and make sure to subscribe if you aren't already. Bye.